What's going on, everybody in the sim community? It's your boy Javo. I'm back, and we got a show tonight. I'm running solo tonight, so if anybody wants to jump on the line, then you guys are more than welcome. I'll be checking out the chat, and depending on who's out there that wants to come on, you guys are more than welcome. So let's get this started. So we're on episode number 9 on the Sim Sports Real Talk show. This is the podcast live show on YouTube, and we bring it to you every week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We don't play any games around here. We're all about the sim sports and representing the sim community. So welcome back to the show. If you're a new listener, then thanks for joining us. Hopefully you enjoy it, and feel free to chime in on the comments as usual. We will see you guys out there. So let's go ahead and run through the topics for today's show. We have a decent show tonight. Nothing too spectacular going on. There was something that happened today that I'd like to share with you guys, and maybe we can have some discussions on that. And then we're going to get into a few other topics. So before we get moving here, I just want to make sure that we got everybody live on here. And yeah, we're live. So hopefully you guys can check this out, and we'll get moving. So let's go ahead and talk through the topics for today. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys was, we'll go ahead and start with a less, I guess, less important topic. The MLB The Show 18 is coming out, in the early next year. And as usual, that game is it's early in our year, so it gives you some time to play it if you're a baseball fan. Excuse me. Every year that game is top notch. It always does very well. So I'm a fan of the game. I'm not a huge fan of baseball anymore, as much as I used to be, but at the same time, it's a quality game. So I always jump on that game at least for a few months and check it out. So what's going on, Showtime? Yeah, I heard about the XFL rumors. I mean, that was something that Moody had put out there on YouTube. So we can chat about that if you guys want to. We have an open forum here, so whatever you guys want to do. But I do have some topics that I wanted to go through. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'm running solo tonight. So Gedden had some things to do, personal things to take care of. So he will not be on the show, but I will be holding it down and making sure that you guys have a show tonight. So hopefully we can get through these topics. And like I mentioned, if anybody wants to join in, you're more than welcome, and we can get you on here. So just let me know if you guys want to jump on. So yeah, so I didn't really read too much up into the XFL news. I noticed that it looked like McMahon from the WWE, I guess it is. Looks like he had some news out there from what I had seen. And so we can get into that if you guys want to. I really don't have too much information on it. I think it'd be awesome to get another football game, no matter what it is. I think that any type of football game that's made, hopefully from a AAA company, would definitely be something that we would like to see in the community. We want to see competition. We want to see healthy competition. We don't want to see, things that are lackluster and games that really can't compete with the older games of the past. We have games out there like the 2Ks of the world that games weren't perfect. Those games were not perfect. But back in 2004, we had ESPN 2K5, and that game was the beginning of what could have been a long track record of a successful football game. So we all know that story, and they started a long time ago with the NFL 2K series, and even way back with Madden when Visual Concepts worked. on one of the earlier Maddens back in the 80s or 90s, whenever that was. So long story short is we want competition. And if we could have a company that comes out and dumps a significant amount of money and resources into a quality football game, a next gen football game, I really don't mind if it's XFL, CFL, college, NFL, custom, I can European league. I mean, it could be anything under the sun, high school. It could be any type of league, and I'd be with it. So, that stuff is, yeah, 2K WWE. Yep. Yeah, they have it. I mean, I haven't played WWE. I don't really get down with wrestling games. I mean, when I was young, I used to I used to be into the Hulk Hogan's of the world and Andre the Giant and British Bulldogs, all those guys way back in the day. But nowadays it's just I don't really watch it or pay attention to it, but I think it's entertaining and it's something that people I'm sure enjoy. I respect them as athletes, talking about your wrestlers, um, but in terms of any kind of competition, we all know it's just a show. But I do definitely respect their athleticism out there and their strength. Those guys are no joke. Um, but in terms of the WWE, yeah, I know 2K has it, and I haven't played the game, so maybe that's something that somebody out there can talk about, or we can talk about on a future show. But in terms of the XFL news, I really don't have much more than that, guys. I mean, if there's something more out there that you guys, want to talk about or want me to share, then, pop it into the comments and I'll be sure to share my thoughts on that. I'd love for 2K, obviously. We all know that I like 2K football games. I enjoy their engine. And if they could put out a football game, like I said, I don't care what brand it is. Give me the XFL. I'll take it. So, anyways, good topic though. Thanks for sharing with that with us, Showtime. I appreciate it. I forgot about that, and I know Ryan Moody puts out things daily, so it's hard to keep up sometimes with him. But in terms of the stuff that we got today, so we have MLB The Show 18. They have a closed alpha coming out in December 22nd. There's ways to participate. If you guys are MLB The Show fans and you want to get an early peek, a sneak peek at the latest game coming out next year, then you can participate. So the invites are being sent out to players on PlayStation 4 through a notification message. They basically targeted people who previously played MLB The Show 17, and you can start downloading the game starting on December 21st. So I don't think that there is a way that you can actually uh, request, to participate, but if you get a notification on your PS4, then be sure to watch out for it, because you may be able to jump on and see MLB The Show 18. And that's a game that's very mature in my mind. They do little things each year to improve the game and the overall gameplay, but that game from year to year, you're not going to see a significant difference. Just like with NBA 2K. NBA 2K, I turn it on and year after year, they add more controls, they add more game modes. But to me, a lot of the gameplay is very much, close to the core of what it was before. They're obviously advancing the game. They're making it more sophisticated, more complicated. But at the same time, they are, when you know what you're going to get, just like with Madden. You buy Madden year in and year out, you know what you're getting. You're getting the same game with a little bit of bells and whistles. The only difference is that Madden has much more to improve upon than the other games, in my opinion. So that's MLB The Show. So if you guys are interested, I definitely would keep your eyes and ears out there. You should be seeing things on PS4, and you can go check that out. I'll probably leave a description or a link below so you guys can take a look at that. But what I wanted to really talk to you guys about tonight is a more important topic for the guys out there who follow me and seeing the tweets out there today. So today's December the 19th. Okay, Tuesday the 19th. We're recording the show today, so it's kind of interesting that this happened. Good timing. But I was doing some work this morning, and all of a sudden, I saw a tweet that good old Rex Dickson was streaming. I was going to say MLB Madden 18 live on Twitch. So I said, "Man, I haven't really had a chance to talk to the guy before. I've messaged him. I've DM'd him on. I think I DM'd him or I tweeted on Twitter one time, inviting him to our show. So you know, yeah, B Diddy, sophisticated. No, yeah, it is complicated. I'm not sure. I would say the same thing, but yeah, I don't know about NBA 2K being more sophisticated, but to me, it starts to get so confusing that you need a dictionary next to you that allows you to figure out what plays to go with and choose. And not to switch topics, but I just saw your comment and I'm thinking, that game is something that you have to put in your work. You need to do the grind. You have to really focus on your button schemes and how the game plays, and then you can start to actually get you can get some gameplay going. So got my Buffalo Bills gear on tonight. My NFL hat, Buffalo Bills. So I'm trying to get some good luck, good fortune. We have the Patriots coming up, so hopefully the Bills can try to win and maybe make a wild card spot. But anyways, back to what I was going to talk about. So Rex Dickson, I'm going to go ahead and put a tweet or a Twitch comment that I put on the stream. I actually tweeted out the video and the exact time frame when things started to heat up with Rex and I. And I jumped on the Twitch stream. Never really did that on his before, and I don't really go on Twitch that often. I have an account, but I really don't play it or get on there that much. If I do streams, it's on YouTube typically. I do a little bit of Twitch here and there. But anyways, so the point is that it just popped up. It was a coincidence. And I said, you know what, let me go ahead and pop my nose in there and see what happens. And sure enough, he was playing Madden and he looked like he was working from home or he had the day off, one of the two. And I started out by basically saying, hey, the sim community wants a better football game. We want a simulation football game or as close to it as possible. And if you're ever willing to talk to us about it, then, jump on the show and we can toss it up. So I'm going to go ahead and put hopefully you guys can see this. Let me know if it's hard to see, but on the bottom right, it's probably hard to see that. Let me try to zoom in a little bit for you. So on the bottom right here, you're going to see that. Here we go. We can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. That's for all you guys on your phones. So on the bottom right of the stream, so this is Rex Dickson's Twitch stream of Madden 18 tonight. I didn't get permission to show this. I don't know if I need it. I don't really care. I think it's free media here. It's something that I caught when I was on there. And like I said, if you guys go back to the video, you're going to see, because it shows the chats, the chat comments, which I thought was interesting. I didn't think it would show it, but I recommend you go back to the latest tweet I put out before the show started, and I'll put it in the video description here, that points you right before he started to actually acknowledge me. So I came into the Twitch stream and I basically said that, hey, if you want to come out to the show here, I'll invite you. And he really didn't make a comment. He didn't say anything. So I said, no comment. I was like, no comment, huh? And then he didn't say much. And then after that, I made another comment. I think he said something about Cam Weber. I think he's the CEO of EA, about that's his boss and he has to do what his boss wants him to do, right? So with that said, I made a comment saying, well, tell Cam, if he's telling you what to do, why don't you go ahead and tell him to make us a better simulation game? And I also mentioned about gameplay. So you guys should watch it. I'm not going to put it on here. I don't know how it would come out, but you guys have access to Twitch, I assume. So I would imagine that you guys should be able to check it out. I just looked at it earlier. So it's out there with the comments. I really suggest you go out there. And, first thing I start hearing is, oh, King Javo is just a troll. He's just here to, to make noise and disrupt us. And we're happy with the game. And the comment that you see here that's on the screen, I'll read it out loud. So I put on that's one of the first ones I put the real sim community demands a better game on the field and in connected franchise mode or franchise. I don't care what it's called. Give me a franchise. Okay. Multi-season mode. All I want, give me immersion, give me the gameplay, give me the storylines, give me the weekly wrap-up shows, give me the halftime shows, give me some good commentating, give me what we had over a decade ago. Just give me that. So let's keep going. So then I put, we know your hands are tied. Okay. And you need to follow direction from the suits, but the true fans are being let down year in and year out. I'd like to extend an invitation to our weekly podcast on Tuesday nights. If you want to chop it up, I put the links on there, and that was that. So he never responded to that comment. He never responded to I think I invited him twice. Once in the beginning. I think this was towards the end. And like I said, you guys can go see it. We had guys on the show. We had Smitty on the show a few shows ago, and he told me to go ahead and invite Rex. When I told him to invite him for us, he said, you invite him. So I've officially invited him at least 2 times, twice on here, and then and I'll count it as one, and then one other time on Twitter. So if he wants to come on and talk, he's more than welcome. Like I mentioned, this is a new show. We're not going to have the numbers of a show like Press Row podcast, or have the connections with him like the Sim Standard. But we also are not here, which is a bigger thing. We're also not here to just, play it safe with him and be on the fence and not really, ask him the hard questions. If he were to come on the show, we're going to ask him questions that he may or may not be able to answer. And at the end of the day, I know what's going to happen based on my conversation with him today. I got a pretty good, it really confirmed and solidified what I already knew, which was that the game is a casual game. It's made for the masses. It's the kind of game that the suits want new players and new gamers to pick up, gamers that have never played Madden. They want to put it into more hands, and that's their number one goal, is to take Madden and extend it out to a newer user group and consumer out there. And that's what their strategy seems to be. Based on the conversation, we had on Twitch, that's what it sounds like it's going to be. And he said that he is trying to push as hard as he can. And that's why I don't blame Rex. I don't think he's made the best decisions on things that he has stated in the past. But I don't personally blame the guy. I do think that he is there as just another minion inside of the corporation who is working hard to make it whatever they want the game to be. He claims, if you listen to the Twitch stream, he claims that they are focused, that he is trying to make the suits reprioritize their priorities and not focus so much on the mud and the long shot and the modes that really the hardcore community could really do without. He said that he fights every year. He fights with them every single day, every year, every month, whatever. And he says that he's on our side. He's on the side of the sim gamer. He wants gameplay to be better. And, I made a comment in there about how he's said in one, I think one Sim Standard show call that I had listened to probably a year or so ago, that he's happy with the gameplay and he wants to move on to different things. I think he was talking about CFM. It was last year. It was the one before. It was Madden 17, I believe. So he has made comments about he's satisfied with the gameplay, and he has made these and I know that, and I know based on just me talking to him today, and I'll get into more because it's pretty interesting. But um, the let me just take this off, switch back. The the funny part is that I know that he has to represent EA. He can't say what is on his mind. Just like the sim standard guys, the game changers, they cannot speak freely about the game because they are under some type of umbrella and contractual agreement with EA. And so is Rex Dickson. I mean, he was talking about it in the chat how which is common sense, but he was even stating how he has to be careful with what he says in social media because it could cost him his job. And he made comments about someone on Battlefront, and 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 so he he knows that he needs to be careful with his words. So when he says he's happy with the gameplay, I don't know if that's Rex Dickson's true opinion of the game, or it's Rex Dickson, aka EA Sports, you know, producer or whatever his title is now. I think he's a MUT director or something. Whatever he is, if that's his title, if that's him talking, is that the EA hat on or is that Rex Dickson? And it sounds to me like it's always going to be the EA hat. So I think that even if Rex Dickson has a comment to make on social media, he has to be very guarded with what he says, and you can't really take it at face value. So I don't really have anything negative to say about him personally because he has no control, for one, and no power. And then because he also has to say things that he really may not even feel. So you don't really know what you're getting. What I do say about him is that he works for EA Sports Tiburon. He represents a game that is well beneath the quality that we demand as sim gamers. He seems to believe, based on the conversation, that he also wants and believes in the CEO and what they're trying to do to get it into new customers and new players' hands. And they need to make the game accessible. They need to make it accessible. So they need to make it a game where anybody can come in, no matter what your skill level is, no matter what your history is with the game. They they uh, they want to have the game be accessible to people. They want to have the barrier to entry be very low, and that's what they want. And I think that if they follow the footsteps of the MLB The Show or the NBA 2K, those games aren't simple. You don't walk into MLB The Show and start hitting home runs unless you put it on rookie or the lowest level of difficulty. You don't play great. That game is a very difficult game. MLB The Show is super, super hard depending on what level of difficulty you have it on. NBA 2K18, same thing. If you have it on, all-star or superstar level, you're going to have some challenges. It's not going to be simple. So that's why we have different game modes. So I don't get that part. I don't get why he says that, because not only do those two other games, here's my thought on that. Not only do those two other games have modes that you can choose to lessen or strengthen the difficulty level, but you also know that they're making a game that is for the simulation crowd, people that love the sport. That's what they're making the game. That's what they're modeling those games after. So the masses are following. They have the modes for the people that are new. They have tutorials. They have better training modes to get the people that are rookies to come in and play well. They have different modes to get you in and push a button and slam dunk and no big deal. They have that. Okay. They have the playgrounds. They have things that other people can do. They have the story mode, the career mode in NBA 2K. They have the the name just slipped me, but the MLB The Show. They have the Dynasty, the Road to the Show mode. They have ways that different types of consumers can enjoy the game. And by the way, those two games beat out the competition, which is the biggest thing that I laugh at, which is what I put in the comments. In some fashion, I put in there that they hold the license. Why are they scared to risk? He says it's a risk. It's a risk to make the game simulation. That's his excuse. But if you think about it, what is the risk? There are two companies out there in San Diego studios who produces MLB The Show 18. Okay. Then you have 2K Sports, 2K, that produces NBA 2K, right? Those two games took the quote unquote risk to become more simulation. And they didn't even have the licenses locked up. And they're successful. So you tell me, what is the risk, which is why they get away with murder with a game that is nowhere near the level that it should be. They don't have to worry about risk. They have the license secured. So Thomas Wilson, if you want to jump on, bro, tweet at me or hit me on the Twitter or something, and I can send you an invite to the show and you can come on. And same thing with anybody else on here. If you guys want to come on the show, you're more than welcome if you want to chop it up here. So let me know. So yeah, so check out. I suggest and I recommend that all of you guys check out that tweet or that Twitch stream. And what's funny about it is I feel like I'm in the twilight zone when I'm talking to those people. People in the chat are so anti negativity towards Madden. You have this guy, Mills Gaming TV, whatever his name is. He's on the Press Row podcast, which we'll talk about next. And he was talking about how we're not the sim crowd, or we're not the only sim crowd, or we're not the real sim crowd. That he says that and that's fine. I'm not claiming that we're the only group in the world and we know everything about simulation football. But I do know that when I share my opinion, and it's just an opinion, I don't feel like I'm hiding behind any corporate, veil or anything like that says that, oh, I can't talk about it, or I used to love 2K and now all of a sudden I love Madden and it's a great game. I don't feel like I've changed my tune. And I know what I like, and I feel like I know what to appreciate in a quality football product. And Madden is not a product that's quality. And then you have people in those chats, and you can see it. They're calling me a troll, and they're saying that you're just there to troll, and you're there to just, stir the pot and get out of here. And you don't know what you're talking about. And you're not the sim community. We're the sim community, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't have any beef with those people. I don't really care about that stuff. It's just, to me, it's amazing how there are so many people out there that don't get it and that just want to latch on to whatever connections they can. They want to be cool with Rex Dickson. Hey, I talked to Rex Dickson. I'm cool. I get to, hey, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, if that makes you feel good. That guy Mills, whatever TV, he's a moderator, or he works for Operation Sports. And we were also talking about how they banned me after I made one comment, and I wasn't doing it a lot. I made literally one comment. I said, Madden is trash. I made one comment and I was banned for life on Operation Sports. And I told him in the chat, in the Twitch chat today, that, OS is a joke. You guys banned me for one comment, and they're basically in bed with Madden. They love Madden. They talk so great about Madden. And one of the things that Rex Dickson, all right, Thomas, I'll get you on. One of the things that Rex Dickson said, he said, one of the first things he said, go to the Metacritic site and grab the Metacritic score for NBA 2K 18, and then also grab it for Madden 18. Write those two numbers down and come back, and then we can have a healthy discussion. And I told him I could care less. And I'm not saying it to be ignorant. I literally have no value in a Metacritic score. That's like somebody saying, do you like the Justin Bieber CD? I can care less if the masses like a game. I don't care. That's not what it's about. The masses follow like sheep. Okay? If the game is a quality game and a core simulation game, the masses will follow. And on the flip side, If you have a casual game, the masses will follow. So the masses giving a game a score, especially a game that locks down the NFL license. Don't forget about that. This so-called holy grail Metacritic score, it's the NFL license that you're getting, Rex Dickson. Okay. And you want to say it's because your game is good? Fine. Great. I don't have any value in that. I don't care about a score. Put a score on IGN. It doesn't matter to me. And we'll talk about scores and what people think about games when we get to Press Row Podcast next. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and send out the I'm going to go ahead and DM you. Hopefully I can, you know what? I'll email you. That's better. So I'll try to get you on here while I'm doing this. So yeah, so I don't really, yeah, they were calling me a troll, and you know, I get it. I mean, I come on and I hit him. I'm hitting him back to back to back because I haven't had time to talk to him. I don't have time to sit here for 3 hours and sprinkle in my comments. I took over the chat, and I wasn't trying to do it in a rude way. And I even apologize. You'll see in the chat if you guys watch it. I apologize for jumping on and, you know, making it become a storm to the point where he actually, because I complained about Press Row Podcast, which we'll talk about next. Their show, they claim to be simulation guys, and I listened to their show. I like those guys I respect them, but I don't respect their opinion. I don't look at those guys as simulation experts. You know, I see those guys more as just general sports gamers that like to play sports and sports games. And I don't even know if any of them played sports growing up, which is fine if they did or didn't. But the point is that those guys rank these games, and they have Kat Bailey on there, you know, and I don't have no problem with, you know, I don't have any problem with girls being on there. That's fine. It's just, if you listen to the show, you'll know for a fact that this place is casual. It's a casual place. You know, these people are casual gamers. And that guy Mills was talking up a storm and accusing me of all these different things, and you know, that's fine. You know, I'm not trying to make this show about him and that back and forth, but I brought up the fact that the Press Pro Podcast, which we'll talk about now, because we can kind of talk about it in both, you know, in tandem here. Let's see. So, all right. So the next topic is that the Press Row Podcast, the latest episode, I think it's the latest one, they do their Game of the Year. So every year they do a Game of the Year awards show where all the panelists that the usual crowd that they have out there, like the TJ Lauerman, the Pasta Padre, the what's his name, Rich Grisham, you know, those guys were connected with Operation Sports. Mills Gaming TV, he's on there as well as a special guest, and he was on that show. And Kat Bailey, who I think's on, I forget what the name of the site's called, but it's a very entertaining show. I enjoy the show, but I don't, like I said, I don't look at those people as the almighty sim gamers. You know, they knock, and you guys tell me what you think, but they knock games like they didn't rank NBA 2K18 in the top whatever. They didn't rank it, and they didn't rank it because of the network issues that they had when they released the game, and they also didn't rank it because of the DLC banning that they just had with the custom, you know, gear that we talked about last week. Are you seriously kidding me? I don't understand. I get the fact that the game has issues, infrastructure issues, and there's problems with the servers, but you're also, you know how many people play that game? Okay. And to me, that's not an indicator of a game being quality or not. The game is quality without the internet. If you want to put online on there, I mean, if the game is like a Battlefront or a Call of Duty and the entire game is an online based game, yeah, I get it. But if you're talking about a sports game that has the option to go online And online's a bigger thing now. I get it. I don't particularly do a lot of it anymore because I just don't have the time. I don't want to deal with cheese. There's a whole number of things that reasons why. Actually, I got Thomas on here, so let me go ahead and bring him on, and we'll get him going. Hey, Thomas, welcome to the show. Can you hear me? I think he's on mute. So hold on a second. I think you're on mute for some reason.
Oh, I got it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Hey man, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Appreciate it, man. No, just tuning in, man. Every week, I'm tuned in every week, man. Just listening, man. I'm just hearing nothing but good stuff every week, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. We all have our own opinions, and I respect everybody's opinion. But I know that we're not the majority, and we have to. I don't know. This is just an outlet for me, to be honest. And if you guys, can tweet and come on the show or have your own show and whatever, it's every little bit helps. So what do you have for us tonight?
No, I mean, I've been not just before. It was way before you even started the show. I seen yourself and other people just leading the charge on I guess the term now is, I guess, sim gaming, but I think what everybody wants, including yourself and me and and a lot of people, is just real football. When you in something that emulates real football, and I think a lot of consumers are I guess throwing their own twist on it to where it fits them. But at the end of the day, uh, football is football. And what's out there now is just not. I don't care how you cut it, how you slice it, how you want to put it, how you trying to sell it. It is not quality football. And it's been like that for a while. And I understand every different angle that everybody takes. Some people have to sell the game. That's their job. But at the end of the day, you can't expect, I guess, the people that's 30 up that have played other games, that have been around, to buy into, excuse my mouth, to buy into the bullshit. Year after year after year after year. I mean, and I guess the community. I heard Jaro said, the community changes is ever changing. I heard him say that before, and I think that's so true. Is because people come and go. So I knew nothing about the sim football community. Knew nothing about it. I think, man, it had to be a good. What were we in 18? Man, it had to be around 25. I knew nothing about it. So, I mean, I knew something was going on why I had to stop buying, I think around Madden 10. So, I mean, you find that crowd, and then when you see other people, like, damn, I'm not the only one that think like this. So it's just crazy that you bump into other cats that, like, shit, I'm not the only one that think like this. I mean, it's a lot of consumers that think the same way and that just wanted a better product. And if you ask me, I think consumers like me, like you, like a lot of other consumers, will never get it. To expect that from a company like EA now, we'll never get that. And then you get, I mean, it's funny that you brought up the conversation and the topic of the dev that they have, Rex Dickson. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's his name.
He's a funny character because I hear a lot of conversation about that guy, and I heard when you say it's not his fault, and it may not be his fault, but if you ask me, and I bring that up to say, I don't know if you've seen that other comment that he made today. that he had tweeted out something regarding. I'll pull up the tweet, but regarding, I guess, some other where his game Madden 18 ranked up against other games, and he had the nerve to call, I guess, the devs at Nintendo lazy. He said, shaking my head, those devs are lazy. I'll look up the tweet, but that just, I say that to say you got to know who you're dealing with. With somebody like that, with his character and the way he, I guess, carries himself, to have the audacity to call another dev lazy when the quality of his product speaks for itself and is lazy. I mean, just the little things, just the little quality fundamental things of football are not in there. And to me, that's lazy. Forget the bells and whistles and all the pretty nice stuff. And, you're trying to sell. I mean, I don't care what the car looks like on the inside. Once that car gets to running down the road, and it starts to run hot on me and the wheels start falling off, then we got a problem.
Right.
I mean, and it is what it is. I think that guy is just, I mean, and when you have a guy like that selling your product or being the, I guess, the spokesman for your product, his character and the stuff that he says, speaks for itself. So.
Yeah, those are good points. Yeah, good points. I mean, we want a better game. You're right there, man. And I think the problem that people have, a couple of good points you made. One is that you're not the only one, and what happens is the masses out there, it's the only football game that's coming out. So it's like you either get on board or you don't play a next gen football game, and that's kind of like or you never played a game like somebody made in the comments that they don't even know what 2K football is because they haven't been playing long enough. And 2K wasn't perfect by any means, but people out there, they just don't know any better. They can't help. This is the biggest thing. They want the NFL. We always talk about Madden. I'm wearing an NFL hat for a reason tonight because we all like football and we all love the NFL. I mean, a lot of us, that's why we play football games. And, I like football across the board, but the NFL is a, huge thing for me. And I enjoy watching my team. So anybody who buys Madden, the majority of those people, I think they buy it because they just want the NFL. They want a game to play. It's the only game to play. They don't know any better. And they want to follow the masses and just do what everybody else does, just like anything else in the world. And you have leaders and you have followers, and that's just what it is. So you can either sit here like us and, not buy the game, play older games, customize them, modify them, find ways to bring more life into the older games, have different options. It's not fun all the time because it takes work and you're not playing the next gen consoles, and you wish you could just have a game that you plug in, pay $60 for, plug it in, and you have a great experience online, next gen, all the bells and whistles, etc. But you have to you have to have a strong passion for simulation football if you're going to go through that headache. And I think a lot of people don't have the patience or the time or the passion, and they just get weak and they're like, you know what? It's the only game out. I'm going to just buy it. I want the NFL. I want a licensed football game. I don't want to do any work. I don't want to learn how to mod it. I don't want to learn how to put, my USB stick in and transfer the rosters and whatever people have to do. I want to just plug and play. And I get it. And those people out there are the masses. And when you talk to the masses, you feel like you're in the twilight zone. You're like, wait a minute, you really think Madden's a good game? Oh yeah, it's a great game. Why? And then you get into a heated debate with these people, and it just doesn't really. I don't know. I get frustrated because it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good points. I mean, I think with that being the only game, and I guess if you take, I guess, that perspective and you say, you know what, as a consumer, you say, fuck it, it's the only game out, because I've seen a lot of people take that, I guess, that perspective in that lane and say, you know what, it's the only game out here. I'm sure, I mean, if I have a plate of food and this is the only thing I can eat, I'm sure I can find something good about it, after a while. If I'm eating it day after day, at some point I'm gonna have to say, hey man, this shit is good to kind of like, I guess to please my appetite, or mentally I'm gonna say, I guess this is all right, but I guess I don't understand why. And I guess, like you said, some people have to have that, I guess, that NFL. And I think that was when EA, I guess, was thinking about this, and they thought, I mean, whoever, I guess the people that do the business thought, they say, hey, we know that these consumers they can't, they're too dumb to go without buying. They're gonna go with the shield. So hey, and EA took it and ran with it, because they may take it personal, but at this point, if you're still buying into this product and you see the quality that they're giving you, then you're the dummy at this point. We're in Madden 18, or consumers are in Madden 18 going into 19. They're the dummies at this point. If they're still buying it and expecting a different result, and I guess it's clear now, because I guess they're making so much money off of that MUT stuff, to where you have to think about it. Like, why at this point, why would they change? Especially from a company like that. Money hungry. Why at this point would they give a damn about CFM? Why would they care about making football? We keep saying, yeah, it's sim, but why would they care about real football? Why? Who cares if they keep ice skating around the field? Who cares? You have to think like them to understand it, and then say, hey, you know what, shit, I need to stop. And that you'll be like, you know what, I need to stop. As consumers, it has to be a different avenue to get the results that everybody wants. And I'm hoping that everybody wants the end result is to have a quality football game. And everybody has an angle. I guess you got people trying to promote the game and people trying to sell the game. I mean, of course, if you listen to somebody that's trying to sell you the game, they're not going to speak a way negative or to try to, sway you away from the game, or not sway you away, but tell you the truth about the game. Why would I tell you the truth? Just watch the game. If you just watch the game play out and you're a true fan of football, and I guess you have to be 30 up, or you have to be, because I'm not talking down on it, but the younger generation, they just want some shit just to plug in and just go. And they, the older cats, we sit and we analyze the defense, we do everything. The younger cats just want to plug and just go. You beat me one time, I'm gonna figure out, damn, what the hell did Javo do in that third quarter to beat me? To like, but that we going into a whole nother conversation. But the bottom line, the game is just not quality, and then you have a dev that's arrogant and that's definitely incompetent at his job. And the reason I say that, because the product speaks for itself. If he was so good, I think it was 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago, we y'all were on and y'all had Giant Blue on, or 76.
Mm-hmm.
He made a very good point. And I don't know if many people caught it, but I don't think at any point in these meetings are they saying, hey, make this player move like this, or make this player move like that. They're not trying to sell. They just don't care. They're not trying to, purposely make these players move like that. They just don't care. These are the type of, I guess, programmers and the quality of work they're putting out. It is what it is.
Right.
You can have many excuses on the dev cycle and this, that, and the third. And I mean, you can always pull an excuse out the ass for anybody, especially if you're working for them. If I'm working for somebody and, I'm trying to sell you something, I can keep pulling excuses out my ass to give to you. But at the end of the day, that's all they are.
Well, they're trying to, and I'm telling you, I'm going to watch the stream again. Like I said, I keep saying, watch the stream, because the stream's going to tell you guys a lot about what Rex Dickson and his manager, or, the suits, what they're thinking. All they care about is finding a new person to put the game into. He says it in the stream. He says it a few times back to back. And the way that he says it is like, I don't care about, oh yeah, that's what he said. He goes, we already have your money. We already have the simulation crowd's money. We already have them. They're buying it every year. And that's the part that I think every one of you guys, and I might try to find that video, the clip, and just, I don't know, put it on my YouTube channel and replay it, because he goes on to say that every year he has our money, and we all continue to buy the game every year. So why does he care to please us when, and I'm paraphrasing here, you guys need to watch it for yourself, but he says, why are they going to try to work hard and change their priorities to please the people that they already have in their pocket? And he goes on to say, we have you in our pocket. And I'm like, well, you don't have me in your pocket, because I don't buy the game. I buy it used for my son if he wants it. He's also a Patriot. I've mentioned that he's also a Patriots fan. So you can tell what kind of crap, how far I go to please my son, because I tell him every time he wants to play Madden, I go, Madden is trash. Why are you playing that game? Let's play 2K. And he's like, oh, I don't know. He doesn't know any better. Like we said earlier in the comments, he has no clue. And all he wants to do, and it's funny because he actually grabs, and I call him he's a cheater, because he grabs two controllers and he'll play with both teams and he'll try to score like 100 points. I'm like, what are you doing? Where's the fun in that? Why aren't you competitive? Why aren't you trying to get, and maybe that's what little kids want. They just want a game that they can pick up and play, that they can see a touchdown, they can see a cool pass, 100-yard drive, and they're happy. They see the NFL, and that's all they want. And it's like, if that's what the kids and the gamers growing up these days want, then we're in trouble as a sim crowd, because that's just, to me, that's the worst way you could ever make a game, is to make it a joke like that and have little kids. It's like a kid's toy. It's like, do I want a real motorcycle that I can get on and I can ride like a man? Or do I want a little toy that goes, a little power wheel that goes 5 miles an hour? Oh, well, the masses have power wheels. So and there's no other competition. So we're going to start making power wheels across the entire board. And now everybody has to drive these little pieces of crap. And that's what it feels like. And I don't want to be a part of that. I hope that some company out there has the balls to make a game. I'm making a game. My game's not going to be sim. It's too hard, too much work, too much money. I don't have it, but I'm making a game because I'm the things that I do. If I look at my life, the things that I've done in my life, and I might be some kind of a fanatic, I guess, but I'm so annoyed and upset with where we are with football games. I don't even play a lot of games anymore. I do more coding and modding, and and I'm working on my game and YouTube and whatever. And I don't really even spend time playing games. I just popped in Everybody's Golf because I want to check that game out, because I was a fan of the Hot Shots game. I just popped it in to load it up, and maybe I'll play it. But I'm so in like the dark when it comes to gaming right now, because I just want a football game that's better. And I feel like a lot of us are just being let down year in and year out. And you're right. But the thing is about it, we can sit here and we can complain every week like we do, and we're frustrated. But the best way, the best way to do it is not buy Madden. How can we get enough people, not just a few, not just 100, not just 1,000? I'm talking tens of thousands of people at least, to not buy Madden. And if anybody has a solution or any type of plan that we can put together, let's do it. And let's hold hands and let's find a way to get change to happen. Because right now, me not buying it, I say everybody don't buy it, right? I don't care if it's one person. I say it counts, but is it going to be enough? Is it going to make a change? And is complaining just going to be something we do every week and we never get a change? If that's the case, then maybe we go down complaining. But I really want to make something happen, and that's why we're doing the show.
I mean, man, I think at this point, I mean, I think there is a a group of consumers, and it is a consumer base out there that would pay for a game that's real football. Um, at this point, to try to lead a charge, um, to try to get people like you, me, um, I know Gedden doesn't buy the game. Speaking of Gedden, I mean, I've seen him uh, lead the charge. I mean, shit, since I've came around. I mean, I've seen different cats do it from time to time, and then for whatever reason, and that's why I bring this up. For whatever reason, a lot of cats will switch up. It's kind of like some high school type shit. Like, let's say it's three people over here saying don't buy Madden, and there's five people over there that's into it. For whatever reason, people they fold like a lawn chair instead of staying solid and to their beliefs and saying, you know what, the game is trash. They fold and say for whatever reason go buy the game. But at this point, trying to, I guess, convince people to not buy the game. I think the proof kind of shows when the game comes out. I don't think it can convince other people not to buy the game, but what I think it'll get the group of people that a cat may watch your show and watch your podcast and say shit that, man, I didn't know it was guys out here like that, that they watch your show. But I think it's gonna take a dev. I don't think it's gonna be it's gonna take a dev to put out a product, satisfy, those sim gamers that want actual real football, to kind of shift everything. But with that being said, the indie devs, like you said, it takes a lot of money doing that, a lot of money. And with the indie devs doing that, I don't know how much they expect in return. Let's say it takes them, I'm just throwing a number out there, 50,000 to make a game. They may expect, double the money to come back. So they're expecting 100,000. So I guess on the indie side, it may be hard. That's why with 2K, I kind of look at 2K and EA, the same. And the reason I say that is because I see the work that you put in with your editor. I mean, I can only imagine. And let me just use that as an example. I seen a regular cat, just his passion off of football, like yourself. I don't even want to even know how many hours you put in doing that. How many that you could have been doing something else. Where you got yourself putting all that time and effort into an editor for a game, when 2K, for whatever reason, and just like EA, you can give 1,000 excuses, but they know it's consumers out here. They have a consumer base of football gamers. They could easily put that game, strip it down, put it out, and just throw something out there. And what I mean throw something out there is, shit, it's been 10 years. I mean, but you got a regular cat, just his passion off football, making editors. And those companies, they see that. They see, well, damn, it's a guy out here, shit, he doing this with our game, And that's why I say 2K, they probably just don't give a damn, just like EA. I think it's going to take, I don't know who the dev is, who the company is going to be, but I think to shift everything, it's going to be a slow shift. It may be a 3-year shift, but year after year, it's going to take somebody putting out a consistent product to shift the football landscape. But the game has to be quality. You can't put out a game that looks like the early 2000s, in the year 2008, and expect consumers to be doing cartwheels in their living rooms about it. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
That I think that's the only way to shift things. Because I mean, I know you've seen it just like I've seen it. So many guys have shifted, and one minute they saying they not buying the game, and then next minute the game is oh man, I like it, and I can do this to it and that to, they're so fickle. They change like the seasons. You never see you seldom see cats just say fuck it, I'm not buying it year after year. So
people continue to buy it, and I mean there was I don't know when I stopped buying it, but I know I stopped. I felt like I stopped like I think it was like Madden 25. I think I stopped buying it, and then like every other year I would check it out like used or something. And it's not easy, like I've mentioned this in my videos before. It's not easy to stop buying the game. I mean, it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it should be what you do if you're not happy. But what I was going to say is that it takes you doing it the first time to realize that you can do it. You can do it every year. I know it sounds stupid. It's like, oh, of course you can not buy a game. But I mean, buy it used. Like if you really can't, we always talk about it. If you really can't hold back and you have to buy a football game, wait a week, buy it used. You don't have to have it on day one. Wait 2 weeks, wait a few days. Somebody's going to return the game. The game is not a good game. People will return the stupid game. And I bought it for my son, like I mentioned, and I don't even think about buying that game. And believe me, I buy games left and right. I never even play them. I have NBA 2K18 sitting there. It's a great game. I have MLB The Show 17 or 18, 2K18, and then I have MLB The Show 17. I don't really play them because I just don't feel like I have time. I'd rather take my time and mod a game, or now that I'm making my own game, I'm working heavily on that constantly. And so, like you mentioned, for me, it's more of if I'm going to take my time and put it towards something, I'm not going to put it towards playing a game that is beneath the quality that we want. We know we're not going to get anything better. There's nothing that's going to happen overnight. That game, like Gedden mentioned last week, it's not a simulation game. The game is a casual game, and it's meant for the masses, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is focus my time on things that are actually going to make a difference for me and for maybe the community. And that's it. That's what I do. So it's not a thing about me. Oh, wow, look how great Javo is. Who cares? It's not about that. I mean, Flying Finn was the one who created the ESPN 2K editor, and that guy was an innovator. I mean, he's the guy that actually, inspired me to do what I did. And it is right. You're right. It's a lot of work. I mean, I'm working on the season mode right now on the side, and that's taken me, I don't know how many hours already I've burned on that, at least 40 to 60 hours. And that's a lot of time, right? So it's like, for what? For an old game, so you got to either be crazy, which maybe I am, insane, or it just shows you, like you said, it's an example of how frustrated I am as a sim, gamer, or a guy who can enjoy a quality football game. And last thing I'll say real quick is that, and I've mentioned it before, one of the main AI developers at 2K, his name is Sean Lee, and he worked on the NFL 2K games. He worked on the APF game, and he's reached out to me even for my game. He told me if I need help with him looking it over or whatever, he'd be willing to take a look, as a casual thing or whatever. But we haven't done it or anything. It's just one thing that he had said to me is that him and all his guys at 2K are fans of what I do. And they look forward to more things that I can unlock. So it's like, I'm not saying that to make everybody feel like, oh, wow, Javo is cool. The point is that you're right. You make a perfect point. The guys at 2K, they want to make a game. They're dying to make a game. They're dying for somebody to make a mod for their game. They're dying for anything to happen, because right now their hands are tied and they can't make a game, so you're 100% correct. There are people that do notice what we do. There are people that do, appreciate what we do, and we just need to continue doing it. Every person counts. Every vote counts. Every person that doesn't buy Madden counts. Buy it used, if you can. And that's what the plan should be. And the more numbers we get, the more. I don't ever want to hear Rex. I want to get to a point where Rex can never say, we have you in our pocket. We have the sim community in our pocket. He's got the balls and the arrogance to say that he has us in his pocket, bro. That should fuel everybody. Makes me mad.
I mean,
it's so stupid.
Yeah, and I think that's I mean that, man, that's where I was at today when I mean you could just tell just the character of that guy. He's I mean, and I guess if you the only supplier on the block, you know, you would feel that way. But with being the only supplier on the block, you know, it's kind of, it would be classy for you to keep your mouth shut. You know, when it comes to um, talking shit, um, you know, talking about other devs when the quality, you know, when you go in talking about Nintendo devs, uh, calling them lazy, shaking my head, lazy devs, and he was talking about, I guess, all the games that the Nintendo 3DS. I don't even play that shit. I don't even know what that is, but just the point of just to even come out and have the audacity to call any other dev lazy when, I mean, you know, Ryan Moody is constantly um, putting out videos, um, and he's not doing anything that a good YouTuber is supposed to do, is put out content that shows flaws in your game, and flaws that, I guess, tell me if I'm wrong, that they say that were out the game, you know, but um, why not bring that man into, but that shows you right there, you got a man in Ryan Moody that is constantly putting out content about, you know, I'm gonna call it like I see it, how fucked up the game is, and you know, but let's just ignore him, you know, but you know, you can't ignore facts. You know, these are facts. You know, nobody's making this up. You know, but it's so easy to you got just like a bunch of sheep. You know, it's a lot of people that are, they just want to latch on to what's popular, but you can be popular when you're the only supplier on the block. And then you got that people now. I mean, if I can make money off of it, you know, they in it for a dollar. You know, they basically, I guess, a lot of people that were in the community, or they saw, hey, well, fuck it, I see things are not gonna change, so I might as well come with the mindset, let me get what I can get. You know, to hell with everybody else, and they're in it for the money. You know, I understand it, but I think it's a fucked up angle to go in. You know, but it, I think he knows at this point that that crowd, he basically does have, you know, whatever that those consumers buy the balls. It's only a few group of cats that's gonna say, you know, I'm not buying the product. You know, and it's those group of cats that, you know, and I'm not talking about the cats that you know, that know that the game is not gonna be a quality product. You know, this wishing and hoping, and you know, if a company that has unlimited resources to the NFL and everything else, to money, whatever you want to call it, still hasn't made a quality product at this point, what do you know? What do you expect? You know, I mean, either, I mean, we consumers just have to find a different angle, you know, to combat it. And it's going to take a company to make a game, and shit, man, it's been what, 10 years, and it's going to take, I mean, like you said, man, I mean, I'm sure you know a little bit about the dev side about, you know, putting the game, that it probably costs a lot to put a game together. And I mean, you see with that Canadian game, you know, how long that game was in development and the quality of that game. Not to say anything bad about it, but you can see kind of right there, you know, what you're working with, you know. And I guess if you have to set your bar low as far as expectations, you know, or you just got to wait out the storm. And, you know, unfortunately, some of us older cats that know what other games are, to catch us 30 plus, you know, we just got to wait out the storm. Hopefully, we live long enough to get another goddamn game.
Right.
I mean, you know,
I always say, it's like, man, I'm dying over here and I need a game. But
I mean,
but you know, we'll hopefully we'll get something. And in terms of how much it costs, I mean, it's, you know, obviously the license will increase the amount that the game costs, obviously a tremendous amount. But I mean, like the guys who are doing the college football game, the Gridiron Champions or whatever it's called.
oh
Um,
shit.
the one thing I do give them credit for is that at least they're trying to get $1 million. They're not trying to go after. I mean, last I checked, they're not going after $20,000 like you know, Cal Anderson was doing. I think at one point he was saying that he has $20,000 to make this AAA title, and you can do it for less than, you know, whatever amount of money. And that's, I hope he can do it, but it's hard to find quality developers, artists, musicians, designers, people that know how to do online. I mean, all of that stuff takes very talented people who are not hungry for work. Like for me to search and find quality developers, artists, game makers, whatever, it's it's not easy. Those guys, it's very weird. Like I've tried to make a game a couple of times and in the past, and these people like don't even, like, I'm like throwing money at them and they're like, oh, I don't care. I don't like, they don't even respond back. And so it's hard to find quality people. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even if you have money and even if you have a you know, an unlimited budget, it's hard to find quality people, let alone if you don't have any money and you're just out there trying to find college kids who just graduated from Full Sail, or, you know, you're trying to take advantage of some internship or something. I don't know. It's not going to look good. And the guys who did Canadian football, I give them credit for making a game, but you guys see what an indie AAA type of game looks like when you have an indie developer behind it. It looks like trash. I mean, we'll be honest. The game looks like a 2000, maybe 2000 PS1 game. PS1 type of game, maybe PS2. I don't even know. The game is terrible in a lot of ways. I mean, I even look at Access Football. Like I said, I'm not trying to bash those guys, but let's be honest. They'll even tell you the game is nowhere near a game like Madden in terms of the way, even Madden, as trash as Madden is, they can't even compete with Madden. That's why for me, and I don't know it all, but that's why for me, I won't even dare, I won't even dare get myself into a AAA title. If I'm going to make a game, it's going to be something that I can actually finish and complete and make quality enough that I'm not competing with the big guys. There's no way I can do that, you know? And in order for me to be able to be successful, I'm going to have to find a way to, and that's my way. I'm not going to make a AAA title. It's just not in the cards for me. I don't have that kind of funding. You know, I don't have that team. I don't have the resources. You're talking 20 people, 10 to 20 people easy. And you're talking, you know, probably a good $1 million plus to make a decent game. And you're talking about 2 or 3 or 4 year dev cycle. It's not a year. It's not 6 months. This stuff takes time to do. You know, so I muted you real quick. I'm going to get you back on for a second. Hold on. I didn't mean to mute you. There was just some noise going on. Hold on a second. Show. Can you hear me still, Thomas? Yeah, you're on mute for some reason. Let me see if I can get you off. So anyway, so yeah, so that's the thing behind the games. But I don't know how to get you back on, Thomas, but I appreciate you coming on, man. I don't know how to put this thing off of mute. So I might have to just eject you out of here. So I apologize. But thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. You had good comments, and you're welcome anytime. Just let me know in the chat or on Twitter. You're welcome back. So, all right, man. Peace. Thanks. So, yeah. So, you know, you guys who are out there who want to come on the show, you're more than welcome. Thomas, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it, especially on a night where I'm by myself. I enjoyed the conversation. I think it was you had some good points that you made, and I appreciate it. So So yeah, so going back to the Press Row podcast, they basically, if you guys haven't watched it yet, close your ears because you're gonna be spoiled, or I'm gonna get a spoiler here for you. But I forget who they voted as. I think it was second place. They voted NHL as Game of the Year, and then or third place. It was third place NHL. And they go through the PES, the FIFA, MLB, NBA 2K, Madden, of course, and they ask all of their panelists to vote for their favorite game, right? Their top 3, I think it is. And this year they voted for NHL 18, I guess. And then first and second place, it became a tie for first place. And the tie for first place was, I believe it was MLB The Show 17, which I think is valid. I mean, I think if you're going to give a sports game a ranking, MLB The Show is probably one of the best simulated sports games that we have on the market. And so, yeah, I don't know if I'll get you on, London, because it's getting late, man, and I haven't heard from you. So I'm probably going to end the show soon. So, but I do want to get through this last topic. And so MLB The Show, fine, but they tied it with Madden 18. I mean, I just can't believe it. So they didn't even put NBA 2K18 in the top 3. They put NHL in front of it. PES, to me, PES is a simulation soccer game on the field. Yes, it doesn't have the license. It has awesome customization. Somebody mentioned it in the comments. You can do customizations in that game up the wazoo, and you could do and recreate whatever you want, whatever league that you want to create. I'm pretty sure you can do that in PES. But the gameplay on the field is second to none. It doesn't even compare with FIFA. I mean, it blows it out of the water from what I can see and what I can tell. I mean, FIFA's always been a quality game, don't get me wrong, but the way the players move, the AI, the ball physics, the player physics, the player models, I mean, everything about PES on the field is super high quality. And that's what I go for. I want quality gameplay. If you have the bells and whistles on top of it, fine, I'll take it. But if you don't have quality gameplay, but you have everything else, I won't look at it. I don't have time for it. I want quality gameplay first. And then, as many of you probably want, we all want to play the game. And that's the first thing that has to happen. So PES wasn't on their list, which is fine. But they put Madden 18. And they put Madden 18 because they mentioned because of long shot, because of what they were able to do with the Frostbite engine. MUT, I think, was part of it too, which is ridiculous to me. And you guys need to listen to the Press Row podcast if you want to hear more. But, I do listen to those guys. Like I said, I know right from wrong. I mean, I know what to listen to and what not to. They're a casual crowd. They like casual games. It's an entertaining show. I respect those guys. I appreciate what they do. But I also know that the games that they like are not the quality that I like. So anyways, so I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Let me know about what you think about the game of the year. Maybe we'll talk about it more next week when Gedden is back. Although next week is Christmas week, I'm not sure if we're going to have a show or not. But either way, we'll keep you guys posted. Keep the message going out there, guys. I mean, every year, every chance we get, every opportunity we get, we need to express our voices and have our voices be heard out there, because we're not happy with this product. And if Rex Dickson thinks that he has us in his pocket and he doesn't have to worry about making the game better for us, which you guys go and watch the Twitch stream. You guys take a look at it. He has it out there broadcasted. I recommended you guys look at that thing. And I have the Twitter or the Twitch, Twitter comment that I put out there that shows exactly the timeline of when he did it. The link is right there when he starts talking about it. It might take 20 minutes or so to listen to, but listen to it because you're going to hear some nuggets in there, and you're gonna learn more about him. And like I said, I have nothing really bad to say about him. I don't think he's, has the power or the luxury to express himself. But at the same time, he has said some things that really don't sit well with our community, and that's one of them. You don't have us in our back pocket, Rex. And if he does have that many people buying the game, then we as a community need to take a stand and be strong enough not to buy the game. Don't buy the game. And I'm telling you, don't buy the game. It's not like people say, oh, I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. I'm telling you guys, don't buy the game. If you want a better product, if you enjoy what we're trying to do, if you enjoy APF, if you enjoy Backbreaker, if you enjoyed the games of the past like NFL Fever, ESPN 2K, if you enjoyed those games, we can't buy Madden. Definitely don't buy it new. And I'm telling people not to do it because that's the only way that we can show. We can show with our dollars. That's the way we prove to those guys that they don't have us in their back pocket. So I'll leave with that, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I appreciate all the comments. I read all of the ones that I can find in here and tried to keep up. I appreciate Thomas Wilson for coming on. Thanks for coming on, bro. I love when the community comes on here. You guys are welcome. We only have so much time to have people on, but I'm on Twitter. If you guys want to tweet at me and you'd like to get on the show, just tweet at me and we'll see what we can do. But the show's growing. It's on podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher. So check it out there. Hope you guys enjoy the show. I know we talked a lot about Madden and a lot about Rex Dickson and EA, and I really don't want to do that every week, but you know what? I'll do it every week if you guys want to. It's fine. I just want to make sure that we're taking actions, whether you're modding, whether you're doing rosters, whether you're tweeting, YouTube, not buying the game, for sure, not buying the game. Any one of those things, putting your voices on any Twitch stream or anywhere you can, constantly send the message that we're not happy. Tweet the commissioner of the NFL. Do everything in your power on a very professional level if you can. Do everything in your power to send our message because we need to be heard. We want a better game, and we're not going to settle for anything less than what we had 10 years ago. So with that, I'll see you guys. Thanks for coming on the show, guys. Until next time, this was episode 9, Sim Sports, Real Talk, and peace. Have a great Christmas holiday and enjoy your family time. Say hi to Santa Claus, and we'll see you guys either next week or the week after. All right, peace. Thanks for watching. Peace.